because I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. I get tired of having to protect myself,
Yeah,
especially being in white spaces a lot,
yeah, yeah.
right? Not only that, so I'm in white spaces, and so you want to protect yourself. You can't be too vulnerable because somebody's gonna try to take advantage of that.
Right.
But then that almost spills over into when I'm out of those spaces because I'm like, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
still need to. I'm almost in this survival mode type of deal,
Mm-hmm.
and I will say a lot of that has changed since my um, since the people that I surround myself with has
Yeah.
changed.
Right.
Right, a lot of people that I associate with now, a lot of black men are more open about some of
Mm-hmm.
the stuff we're talking about today, which is dope.
Mm-hmm.
But do you feel like there's still that there's almost still kind of that shield up when we can't talk about it too much? It's almost like there's a limit.
Yeah.
Like, brother, you be okay. You said enough.
It's just so right. You said enough. Like so, in some ways, I feel like the only reason why it's why from the vulnerable from the definition that
Mm-hmm.
we got right is if I haven't worked through that in a way to where it doesn't make me susceptible,
Mm-hmm.
then that's really the true issue. Isn't so much about me being vulnerable. It's about me not having dealt with or handled what's going on with me that
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel like this is an opening for you to take
Right.
advantage of me. So like if I am not confident in my ability or confident in not only just confident, but if I'm not only confident, knowledgeable, and skilled in whatever that thing is that I need to
Mm-hmm.
be in, and it creates that opening, well, that's my self work. It matters not whether
Yeah.
I'm vulnerable with you about that or not, right? Because
Mm.
you could just still unknowingly hit and attack
Right.
that in me because
Yeah.
I haven't dealt with that my own self, right?
Yo.
So actually, like the things that I guess for me, it's like the things that I am nervous or would be scared about being vulnerable about. That tells me that's something that I need to work through because truly,
Mm.
right? Like I should be able to walk through this knowing that like nothing can come at
Yeah.
me or do against me that I'm not willing to allow it to. And so actually being in that space, yeah, where I feel like there's a vulnerability,
Yeah.
that's actually more so my own self work that I need to go do.
So is vulnerability more of an insecurity? Because like when I think of the things I need to work on, it's
Yeah.
because my insecurity doesn't want people to see it.
To the ones that people, yeah.
So like,
It's probably showing you. It's probably like a window or a door to it,
yes,
right? It's probably that window or door to show you, like, yo, go work on that, brother. Like, you
yeah.
know?
But I think that's a strength, just from looking at an artist. What is
Yeah.
that? What is that like to tap into that vulnerability to put it on? You got murals out here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Right.
granted, like that's not like a very,
And it might not, yeah.
but
But at the
still,
same time, a mural might, the content of that mural might be that kind of thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah. No, I think again, it goes back to like what have you processed and worked through, and I think so. Something that's beautiful about art, and I think what allows folks to be transparent or vulnerable, or however we're using it, right, is that
Yeah.
once you go from I've taken this thought and this emotion, and then you turn it into this thing that is external to you, it becomes this like third party thing. You get to actually interact and engage with it. So as you even go through that process of creating and making this choice and putting this here, removing this, adding this or whatever, you're actually doing that thing that I mentioned about like wrestling with it or working through it. Like you're actively engaged in that process. And so now probably that content that or that thing that you were nervous about sharing as you work through that process of making a piece about it, right? Like you are not as vulnerable anymore, I guess, in the sense of that definition. Because now you're like, I'm aware of how when I talk about losing a parent, a brother, a sibling, or a friend, what that does. I'm aware of when I talk
Right.
about the money issues or the things that are kind of going on in the world around me and dealing with people at work, people's opinions, or dealing with laws and government and things like. If I'm
Right.
aware of how those hit me, and then I express it through my art form as well, like it probably doesn't sting you in the same way. It still is there, right? It's
Right.
never erased or gone, right?
Right.
But because you've made it external to you, what's the word like? It's object to you now, as opposed to you're subject to it, kind of deal, right?
Right.